What's up, guys and gals? It's time to take a look at the most powerful feature of Focus OmniTweet, and that is the threading functionality. All right, so we're looking at the timeline view for OmniTweet, and we're going to start by creating a thread. This is how all threads will begin. This is the genesis of all your threads. And then I will take you over to the thread view page so we can explore exactly how that works, because that is specially designed for working with your threads and also for reading your threads and kind of getting a feel for how everything is going to look and work in the end. All right, let's get started. So we start a thread like we start any other tweet. We just start with a basic tweet. So we'll do that, start with a basic tweet, and we'll create it. And then we locate the tweet we just created, and we're going to click this add. This is the add to thread button. This is what will turn this first tweet into a proper thread. All right, and we can add an image to this if we want. We don't need to do that for now, though. We'll just click add to thread. Notice here the dialog says you are creating a new thread. All right, when you do this, each tweet in this thread, obviously there's only 2 tweets for now, gets this link to show the thread. And we'll look at that in just one second, but I want to point out that notice how this first tweet in the thread no longer has this add to thread button. And that's because logically, you can't add a tweet to the thread. You have to add to the very bottom tweet in a thread. The last tweet in the thread is the only one onto which you can add content. This will help you avoid any type of like output confusion where you make your third tweet, but you accidentally put the third tweet attached to the first tweet. If you do this on Twitter, it used to be that would create some logical problems with the flow and like being able to see the entire thread. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but that OmniTweet avoids this issue entirely by making it so that you can only add tweets to the end of a thread. Pretty handy. All right, now we've got this show thread link. This only appears in your timeline view, and here's what I love about this. It says show thread, and then it shows you the title of the thread. Now, this thread is tweet thread 62, so we go over here and we can edit it. But I want to show you a little trick here. You probably don't want your tweet thread page to be called tweet thread 62. Understandable. So to fix that, you can go in and edit this page and actually change the title to whatever you want. This is my sample thread. You can even change the URL of the thread if you want. Okay, and then we'll just hit update, and we'll go back to our sample thread. Now it says this is my sample thread. Now, let's pop over to the timeline view again and see what happens to those links. Boom, look at this. Now we see the title of our thread here. This way, when you're just scrolling through the timeline view, you can see which thread a particular tweet belongs to. And it's more clear that it's not just that, oh, hey, this tweet belongs to a thread. It's that, hey, this tweet belongs to this specific thread with this title. That will help you, when you think about how you refer to your threads, this is a good little device to have so you know what you're looking at. All right. And then we go back over to our thread page. Now, thread pages are cool because they're fundamentally different from your timeline page. And the way you control your tweets over here is a little bit different. So what we can do is we can click on any tweet in our thread, and we'll get a little bar of controls up here. And also, you'll notice the tweet button goes from a grayed out color to a bright green. That when it's bright green, this is an active button. I could now click this and tweet this tweet in my thread. If it's gray, I can't do that. So what we can do, you can look at your thread in this view, and you might decide, hey, I want to edit this tweet. So you can click the edit button, do that. So we'll update it. And there it is. You could do this with any tweet in the thread, and then if you decide you want to add a new tweet to the thread in this view, you can do so by clicking this blue button at the bottom. All right, there it is. Okay, so just some usage notes here. So that's the basic functionality. You always have a return to timeline link. If the first tweet in a thread has been posted to Twitter, You must post them in order too. That's another thing. But if the first tweet has been posted to Twitter, then another link will appear down here that says view entire thread on Twitter. So it's just a handy little way for you to pop over and see the entire thread there. No problem. All right. Now, a couple more usage notes. Like the timeline view, we also have the ability to delete tweets in a thread. But it's interesting the way this works. You can only delete the final tweet in a thread. Whatever tweet's at the very bottom, you can delete that if you want. You could. But you would not be able to delete the tweet in the middle, because this would screw up the way the thread works. You can only delete the last tweet in the thread. But we can also, if you just want to get rid of the whole thing, you can go to the first tweet in the thread, and if you delete this, it deletes the entire thread. So if that's not the outcome you want, you have to start at the bottom and delete them all the way back up to the top, or to whatever point you want to get your thread right. But that's an important usage note that you may run into as you work in this thread view. But the way all this stuff works, the restrictions that are in place, it's all designed to make it so that you don't inadvertently make any moves that screw up your content. So the whole idea is that you have seamless, easy content creation. You're always working to get the outcomes you want. There's nothing annoying that screws up what you were trying to do. And that's pretty much it. That's knowing how to change your title here, and also the URL. This is kind of the secret sauce of the thread views in OmniTweet. But again, this interface is pretty simple, especially once you know what you're doing. It's clear, easy to use, and like I said, there's just some simple restrictions in place to make sure you're always doing exactly what you want to do. All right, that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching.